I'm going to do this on here because I can't get this girl to talk to me. I can't get her to answer the phone. I can't get her to answer a text message because of how emotionally I've hurt her. Caitie, I met you September 29th, 2009 in the 6th grade. You're wearing a pink shirt, a black skirt, and black heels. You're the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. Beautiful girl. I fell in love with you instantly. For about the next week and a half, maybe 3 weeks, I don't really remember, I followed you around at a fair enough distance to where I could make sure you got to all your classes okay. I was late to every single one of my classes, got after school detention every single day almost to make sure you were okay. Ever since then, or between 6th grade and 7th, or between 6th and 10th grade, I didn't see you. We came back to school in August, sophomore year. Me and Danny were walking around the hall. She found you, and I saw you again. I couldn't even look at you because I knew exactly who you were. I knew that I was still in love with you, and I never once said a single word to you. I fell for you hard and fast, and stayed falling for you, and stayed wondering where you were and who you were, and just to know your name. I can't tell you what you were wearing that day, but I can tell you were still as beautiful as you were. You left Charles Page High School 3 days after the school year started to move to Page Academy. We didn't talk anymore until February 16th, 2013. One of our friends that doesn't speak with me, at least me, maybe you still anymore, she texted me out of the blue. I was hanging out with one of my buddies. She texted me, "Hey, do you still want Caitie's number?" And I said, yes, I do. And she gave you my number, and you texted me. From then on, I knew either I was going to fuck up or I was going to do great. There was going to be no in between. And I ended up fucking up. Not right off the bat. We got together on March 26th, 2013. We had our good days. Mostly we had our bad days. Mostly because of me. And I will take responsibility for that. I treated you like shit, and I'm sorry. I sat there and I let the bullshit like what Haley did to me come between us. Should have told her goodbye right then and there. I still haven't. And if it meant us being able to talk again, I sure would. We ended up breaking up on June 16th, 2013. It killed me. I broke up with you. I told you the very next day I'd regret it. I couldn't take hurting you and making myself physically ill because of the stress. That didn't matter. It was the simple fact that I was hurting you. And when I broke up with you, it hurt you even more. There's no excuse. There's no reason for why I did what I did. It was a mistake. It was the biggest mistake of my life. For the next 2 weeks, roughly, I begged you to come with me to something at my church for 4th of July. The Sunday before 4th of July. Okay, the Wednesday before 4th of July. You finally said yes, and you came. We sat there and we watched the fireworks. I had missed already, it only being like 2 or 3 weeks since we'd broken up. I had missed having you laying between my legs, holding my hand, and looking at me the way you did. I walked you home. Everybody at your whole house glared at me. It didn't matter. I mean, it hurt, yeah, but I knew I deserved it. I knew what I did was wrong. I knew I crushed you, and I knew I hurt your mom and your aunt. And I know I hurt Izzy. Bentley was mad. Yeah, me and Bentley may be cool now, but I know he's still upset about what I did. We talked a little bit going on throughout there to now, or from then to now. In August, school started back. I started at Page Academy. And we had first hour together. And that was it. We had first hour together, and I remember every day sitting by you for as long as I remember, other than whenever we had a fight. Whenever we had a fight, I'd sit with somebody else, whether it be Monica or it be somebody at the front corner table. I couldn't be around you. I realize I hurt you, and I'll just say this all throughout the video that I'm making. I hurt you, and I'm sorry. I really am. On October 3rd of that year, of last year, I ended up going into placement. I had gone in placement a couple times before that. I blamed it on you, said it was your fault. It was not. It was my own stupid being. I'm the one that messed up. Throughout the whole 5 years that I've been in love with you, I'm the one that fucked it up. I'm the one that messed it up. I'm the one that hurts you. You never once hurt me. Never. I got out of placement on October 25th. I went back to school a couple days after that. I avoided you completely. The day I got out on the 25th, I was sitting at Golden Corral with my parents, and I was texting you, telling you I was completely done. I didn't care. I wanted nothing to do with you. It was a mistake. Every time I told you that, it was a mistake. It was all a mistake. Leaving you was a mistake. Hurting you was a mistake. You called me that day. You were upset about it. We didn't talk for a few days. I went back to school the 27th, I think, and avoided you in first hour. Finally, I was walking with Lily, and you and Jenny had came up. I told you I didn't want to talk. You had kissed me, and I pushed you away. Another mistake. The whole rest of the school day, I had thought about how much I missed you, how much I wanted that back, and how much I wish I could have taken it back right then and there. And I didn't. And I should have. I chased you that day after school. Whenever we got out at 1, as you were walking down the stairs, I didn't go to lunch with any of the friends that I wanted to because I wanted to kiss you again. I didn't care if you would have pushed me off. I didn't care if you would have slapped me. I just wanted you to know that you mattered to me still. You went home that day. A couple weeks later, we got into a fight. Same things we always do. Same reason we always do. I was being an asshole, and I snapped on you over something that I shouldn't have, that had no meaning, just because I was being an immature dumbass. I hurt you again that night. I hurt you so much, and I'm sorry. I ended up, the rest of the year played through. We got in a few more fights. I continued hurting you. On January 1st, exactly midnight almost, I sent you a Facebook message before anybody else, telling you at the beginning of the new year, I'd like to make new beginnings. I'd like to start over fresh. I apologized to you, poured my heart out to you. In 3 days, it took you 3 days to message me back. That killed me. I mean, I didn't know if you didn't view it, if you saw it, or if you saw that I messaged you and you just didn't want to read it. You finally messaged me back. And I did mean all that. I meant every single word of what I said. I know I ended up messing up again after that, but I meant it all. I never meant any of the fights. I was angry, young, dumb, stupid, and immature. I was an asshole. I was a fucking idiot for hurting the girl that I loved and someone as beautiful as you. I loved you to death, Caitie. I still love you. We talked for a little bit after that, and another fight came up. And I told you I didn't want anything to do with you anymore. And And we apologized and started talking again. A couple weeks later, I hurt you again. Like I always do. I'm sorry. I love you so much, Caitie. I really do. Now that we don't talk at all anymore, I ask Danny almost every chance I get how you're doing. And if you're asking about me, and when you're coming to Hawaii again. I ask everybody that goes to Paige now how you're doing. And half the time they won't tell me. They'll tell me that I just need to move on. I can't do that. I love you so much. And we quit talking not that long ago. I mean, it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Not even that. We'd gotten into a fight because someone had called someone, and I got tired of putting up with that. I flipped and said some things about that person that I should not have, and I didn't mean those. I was angry. I just want you and that person to know that I'm sorry, Caitie. I'm sorry for everything. And then even to this day, and for every day in the future, and every day after that, that if anything was to happen to you, or that person, your aunt, or your little sister, or Debbie, anybody, it'd kill me. I would blame myself before I blamed whoever did it, or whatever happened. Caitie, throughout this video, I've told you and everybody else in the world that I'm sorry and that I love you. It may not mean anything to them, it may not mean anything to you, but for me to get on public internet where everybody in the world can see me cry, and you know that's not something I do in front of people, and for people to see me like this publicly, if nothing screams I love you and I'm sorry more, just let this, please. Let this tell you that I love you. Let this say that I'm sorry. If you want this to be goodbye, I'll fully understand that. Just please never forget that I'm sorry and that I will always love you and I will always be here. Whether you can find me on Facebook or through a friend like Danny, through somebody at Paige Academy. You know where my parents live. I don't live there anymore. But if you're seeing this, please get a hold of me somehow. Comment. Leave a dot with your name. I don't care. Just let me know that you saw it. I'm sorry, Caitie, and I love you.